goal here is to like talk about developing website. But before getting into the detail, since in the early stage you have like much more attention and the later part you might be sleeping, so I will introduce myself in a little bit visual way. You definitely got a little bit introduction about me, but if I'm not doing what I am doing most of the time, organizing sessions, talking about JavaScript and all this stuff. And other than this, before actually COVID time, I used to jump from the sky because there was nothing better than this. And then also was doing some running because this is a very good way to stay away from home. And then if I'm not doing all this stuff, I used to like to have a 10,000 volt shock. And this is really shocking. So if you need like more shock in your life, let's have some 10,000 volt shock. Definitely I like to share whatever the limited knowledge I have. And this was all good before 2020. And once this 2020 started, things take a little bit turn. So I get inside my closet, pretty much similar setup, and spend pretty much day and night over there and focused on the mobile app. And it's grew a little bit. We are close to 1 million users for this. And 2020 also put some focus on my YouTube channel. And feel free to check out those. And this is pretty much what I do. So welcome back. I'm sure you had so many other important things last few days, and definitely you are also preparing for the February 14th, which is a very special day for most of you guys. So I'm very excited for that as well. And so if we look back that we were very, very romantic in our last session, we were able to not only make ourselves romantic, we were able to make everybody romantic and everybody prepared for their February 14th. And now, if we look into this, this is a decent website. This is very good for the first day work that we have done. But there are some issues with it. For example, if we know that a lot of people will be visiting the website by using their mobile phone. In those cases, here, for example, if you make this very readable, it works. But if we make it half of the width, it gets a little bit trickier. You can make it even smaller, but you cannot make it that smaller. So there will be a horizontal scroll bar, and even images is not perfectly aligned, and there is a much more needs to be upgraded to make a better website. And another thing is that as a developer, we don't want to do a lot of work. And for that purpose, there is a magic you guys can get. That means you can build a website without not writing any kind of the style, but it will be pretty. So that's what is the magic. And that magic is called BootStrap. So if you just Google BootStrap, you will go to a website. And this is very, very popular. And if you are a web developer or you're building websites, you definitely have to use BootStrap at least once in your life, if not a lot. And the core magic is that you don't need to write a single style, but still you can have a very, very reasonable website. And most of the cases, you have to write very few amounts of HTML. So without writing much HTML, without writing any CSS, you'd be building a fun website. And it looks very professional, and you'd be building some kind of an e-commerce site. So that's what is our mission. And if you go to the BootStrap, this says build very fast responsive sites with BootStrap. What does it responsive means? Responsive means that you'd be able to use the same website in a tablet, same website in a mobile phone, and it would be much more user-friendly, readable. Not all the text would be clumped together. So the BootStrap using is very, very easy. All you have to do is to go to the bootstrap.com and then click on get started, and they will give you all you need to do is add in a style sheet. You'll just need to copy this guy, and you need a JavaScript. So we'll start working on it. So I have a Visual Studio Code that I have installed, and you guys should have installed it. Just go to the Visual Studio Code, download and install it. That's easy. And what I will do, I will create a folder in my computer. So I have my projects folder. It could be anywhere. And then you can create a new folder there. And this would be like a hot gadget. It's like we would be selling some hot gadget today, and I come back to Visual Studio Code, and then you can do multiple way, like open folder, or you can go to this and then open folder, and you just need to go to the same place. That is like your C drive projects or whatever you created this folder, and then you need this hot gadget, and then you select it. So, and here we can click on this new file here and then index.html. This means I'm creating an HTML file. And last time we saw a simple magic in the Visual Studio Code to create the structure of the file. All you need to do is to start this bang sign or exclamatory sign and then press tab. It will give you some structure of an HTML file. We'll have like the head, the HTML tag, and the body tag. So if I write something, hr, that I am a hardworking web developer and I need some friends at least, something like this. And I did one extra thing in between. There is something called like extensions. And here you can search for a lot of extensions. I installed something called live server. So if you search here, just live server, you will get it. Here I will see like a live server is installed. And that's why it shows like uninstalled. But in Visual Studio Code, you can install this live server. What does live server does is like if you, so for example, if I want to see this as an output, I have to go there, hot gadget, and then click on the index.html, and this will be opened. I will see it here. If I change something here, say for example, H5 or something like that, I will need someone on Feb 14, something like this. You save it. Now you go here and you don't see the changes. All you need to do is to press this refresh button or Control R, something like this, so that you can see the changes. What live server does is like you don't have to come here and reload it. It would be automatically reloaded if you press save here. So that's what is like, it saves like coming back here and then just clicking on this guy, it saves one extra click. So you don't have to like press Control R to refresh the page or reload the page. It would be like automatically updated. And if you want to see it just here, so I click on this guy and then I run this live server. And then what it will do, it will automatically open this, which is good. I can make it a little bigger if I want to. And then if I change something here as well, say for example, paragraph, I am very much ready with my roses. Save it, you come here, it's already here. I am very much ready. You don't have to refresh it. And if you say like a roses is very much pricey, so you may look for some ganda fool or something like this. That's kind of like we are a student, like we don't have much money, but it's already applied. And if you look into side by side, then it will make a little bit sense. If you have this in the side, and then here I need only one, and you save it, and look this gets updated right away. So at least one friend. So you save it, you don't have to do anything, it gets reloaded. So that's what is like we wanted to save like some fraction of millisecond to become lazy. But our goal is to use BootStrap. So if we come here, you can always click on the docs. If it is the home page, you click on the get started, or you can go to the docs and you will see like getting started introduction. And you need just two things. Just copy this guy and then paste it anywhere. For simplicity, we always put the link of CSS inside our head tag. So this is, you will need internet connection to make this available with, because this is loading from internet. That's why you see like some HTTPS link here. But anyway, you just put it here. And then you need one extra thing that is optional, but we will need for our case, because we'll be creating some amazing slider with pretty much no code. So we copy this script, and the place we will put is the last tag of the body. We will put it here. And if you save it, before saving it, look at the website you have. Like, it's not that much, like you see the font, the spacing, and all this stuff. You come here, you save this guy, now come back here, it looks much better, better font, better size, and all these things. But that's not actually all you can do with Bootstrap. This is just the beginning. So Bootstrap gives you like a lot of interesting stuff. We will start with a very simple things, and then we will do some advanced things, and then we will start creating our website by using the parts of it. So a lot of things Bootstrap provided is inside the component. That means it's kind of like a one building block, one pieces, or one brick you can think of, like one brick of your website. And by using all these bricks, you will kill ultimately your buildings. So here you will see like here the simplest one, you will see like a buttons. You can create buttons, and all you need to do is to mention some class. And so let's have a look into it. So here, for the simple purpose, I create a simple button. So like you can just type like btn and then press tab, it will button, and then type like my fancy button, something like this. You save this guy, you come to the website that you are creating, it just as a regular button. You don't style it. It looks okay, but it's not like as fancy as it is. But if you come here and then you see that you can just add some classes like class btn. Btn is the short form of button. Everybody has like a nickname. So button has a nickname btn. And then if you give it a primary, it would be this color. If you give it a secondary, it would be this color. If you give this danger, then it would be something like this. If you make this warning, it would be something like this. So let's do this. So here in our button, we said like a class, and then btn, and then btn primary. You save it, you come to the website that we were creating. You see this is already styled, and you can create a few more like this. So I can just copy this guy and then paste it. Like, and the second one I make like a primary. Instead of primary, I'm making the success. So all I'm doing is just changing a CSS class that I didn't wrote. It came from the guys that Bootstrap, and it is completely free. You don't have to pay a single penny to use this. It's completely free. They don't ask for any money, but you can use your website to earn money. And then you can have like a much more. So I would be copying this line by using a keyboard shortcut, which is Alt-Shift and down arrow. Alt-Shift down arrow. So here I would be making it like a danger. So something dangerous happening. Maybe you'll be going to delete this your account or block some people, something like this. And if somebody clicks on it, it will be destroy something. And those cases you can have like a fancy button or in danger color. So we got some idea that you can do something by using those buttons. Not only that, you can do some other interesting stuff. We look into some simple stuff. So for example, border. If you need some border in any paragraph or anyone, you can just use like a border class, and it will add a simple tiny border. So we'll go to, say, for example, h1, and then class, we put like a border. We save this guy, and then here you'll see a tiny border in it, right? You can make like even different colorful border if you want. So here, if you do like only the border on the top side, this would be like you will use the class border top at the end on the right side, or in the starting size or the bottom. So you can not only put a border in the all size, you can put like a top, right, if needed, some cases. And if you don't want any border, in that case, border 0. So I don't want any border. And you can do like a colorful border, like a border and then border primary, like the button primary. It should create like a this color, different color, your danger color, your warning color, and all this fancy stuff. You can do like a border thickness, like, you know, border 2, 3, 4. If you want very thicker, you'll just add one extra class, border 5. So if you do like a border 5, save this guy and come to your website, then you'll see its border is much thicker. So, and then you can do like a border radius, like a border circle, rounded circle. If you do a rounded circle, it would be a circular like this, would be using those. And definitely you can use like much more stuffs like spacing. So if you want to like a margin or padding, those kind of things, M stands for like a margin. And if you want to add like a margin on the special side, this is like in the top side, this would be like, you would be using something called MT. And if you want to like an x-axis, that means like horizontal axis on the left and the right is kind of a start or end. And if you like a y-axis, that means you want to do it in the top and the bottom. So this is like a much more powerful things. You don't need to write any CSS style, but you can just use the class they are providing, and we'll definitely use some of those. And I would like to show you a few more stuff before getting into this, like something called tricky called like a flex. We know like somebody, if some block goes one after another, we can use like a flex, like a style flex, and then put them together. And we can do exactly the same thing here by using a class called dflex. So you don't need to write the CSS style. You can use the dflex. And you can align stuff. So here you're aligning things in the front side of your on your website. The second one is if you're going to on the right side, just using like flex flow reverse, and this is the flex row. That means if you go the first one, you can do like a vertical way. You can position it, which would be using like this one is like you are positioning some group of elements together in the center of your website. This is like a multiple things, and this is you do like justify content center, and you can do like a vertical way, which is like align item center is the horizontal center. And you can do the same thing in multiple different ways, but we just looked into it a little bit. So now we looked into another part is called like images. So in our website, we'll be using a lot of images. So I have some images that is I will definitely share with you guys after this session. But if I go there, here I have like hot gadgets, and then I have some images. So I copy these dudes and then come back my projects. Here I have like this folder called hot gadgets, and here I put all these images. We'll be looking into the images and using it, but first you start with the one single image. So I have an image tag, and this is in all the images. If I look into here, here is this is the index.html I'm working on. My image is a folder, inside a folder images, and then I have some friends, and I'll be using one of my friends' image here. So all I can do is to here is this, where is the source of the image? So comparing to the index.html, if you go to the images folder, then there is a folder called friends, and then there is an image. So you can write just images, and then if you do the slash, Visual Studio Code will tell that these are the images you have. So you have like a friends folder, and then inside the friends, you have like an image called elon.png. So I will close the sidebar, I save it, and I come to the website that I was building. And in the website, you'll see a very, very large image. And I cannot see this elons. It's really hard to use the website. And I can need to control the width or do some other stuff. And that's a lot of work for me. But if I go here, there is a simple responsive website. Responsive means like it will be responsible, or it will readjusting itself with the available space. So right now, it's not doing a very good job. If we go here, it's not adjusting. It's not very responsible. It is very adamant. It wants to take everything beyond the space it can get. So if you come back here, you'll see that all you have to do is to create a small class and use it, just img, which is short version of the image, and that's fluid. That means it's like in water. If you put some water, it goes as much as space is needed. That's it. So here we'll come back. Here we'll put like a class img-fluid. Save it, come to the website. Here you see the image, at least it's took like not like a horizontal space. It took all the available space. And the fun part is if you make the browser half of the width, it is still takes the available space. Not only that, if you resize, it is kind of like a responsive to the available space. So all you had to do is to just use one CSS class, and we are getting some power of it. Not only that, if we go here, you can control the width of the image. All you need to do is if you go to the utilities and then you say like a sizing. Sizing means like if you use the class W-25, it will take 25% of the space. So overall is 100%. Most likely you know that overall is 100%. So half is like 50%. If you want half of the width, like this one is like a W50. If you want like 1/4, you will use that space. If you like a 3/4, this like a W75. If you want like an 100% W100, those kind of things. So here we can easily tell like, hey, I want you to take a W25 or at least just 25% of the available width. If we come here, now this image is like this small because we just use like one simple class. And we can do like a much more. Say, for example, if you want like a circle image, right? If we remember, we saw something here with the borders, right? You can do borders, and then here you can do like a rounded circle. So you just need to add this class. That's it. You come back here and you need to put this rounded circle. You come back to the website, and now there's a circular Elon Musk. It's not like straightforward. You can use like a border, thumbnail, and so much more. You just need to know, like spend some time that what the different things is mentioning in this website. And if you have the time to use or explore the different parts of this website, this is the images it has. And you can use like this kind of like image thumbnail. So that means like you have like a frame or border. You can easily add that one too, image thumbnail. So I'm coming here, img, and then thumbnail. Save it, come to the website, and you'll see there is a thumbnail of Elon Musk around it. And you can do with other images. So I have one images. I will create a multiple copy, Alt Shift down arrow, or you can do the Control C, Control V if you are comfortable with it. So another one, but this one, and I make like 2 copy actually. So initially these are all same. That's why I have like a 3 Elon Musk, but I have other friends, not only one friend. One friend is not enough. So I'm changing it to, say, for example, my friend Bill. And then if you come back, Bill picture is there. I have another friend who is Mr. Jeff, and who is very much culturally focused. So we have like Jeff Bezos here as well. So you got the idea that we are doing something. It's not looking very fancy yet, or it doesn't look much functional yet, but we would be getting there. So next thing we would like to say, like in a lot of websites, they have something on the top is called like slider. It slides one after another, one after another. And that thing is called a carousel. So how you can create a carousel is super easy. You need to go to the component, and then you need to all in to find this carousel. And if you see that this would be like a kind of slider. If you come here, you have some control as well. You click on this, it goes to the next one, next one, next one. And all you have to do is to just use this code, and they all have already provided you, and then change the image source because they don't know which image you would be using. That's it. And that's all you have to do. So that's super easy to create a slide. All just need to do copy paste and define the source of the image. That's what the magic. And don't tell your mom that you did just copy paste to create this website. Rather, it's like I spent like all night working and playing some PUBG, but don't tell her that. You copy this guy and then you paste it maybe on top of the image or anywhere you want. So I put on top of the image, and right now if I save it, go to my website, you will not see much because you don't have the images. So you'll see like a broken image here, but we can easily fix it. So I already copied a few images, as you have noticed. So I will provide you guys those, and I have multiple cards here. One is the card 1, card 2, card 3. So the first one I will change is like card 1. So this all the images is inside images and then cards and then card 1. So if you go to the website, now you see one card and you see a small control here. If you go to the next one, doesn't have an image, and that's why it's broken. So we'll put the second card and third card as well. Very easy, images, cards, and the second one. And here, this is the third one, which is images, cards. This is your third card. Save this dude, and then come here, you already have a slider. And if you just wait, don't touch anything, it would be sliding itself like after a few seconds. You can control how frequently it would be moving, but there is some default time set there. So you'll see like this would be like a sliding in your website. And all you have to do is to just copy the text and then set the images. We'll look into one extra thing, and then we will go to some of our work. We will do like two things, and then we'll go to building our website. The second thing we would like to see is to a lot of website. If you go to like say, if you guys are a music fan, you see like a Spotify pricing, something like this, and these things you see like pretty much everywhere. If you go to like a Spotify pricings or in a lot of websites, you'll see that they created something like this. And they also make it like a responsive. If you do this like a smaller size, you'll see only one, so everything goes one after another. This is like a responsive way. But if it is like a in the browser, you see these are the 4 different columns, right? That if you're a student, they don't care. They care, but they don't care that much. That means like you're still paying like $5. But these are the things is called a card. Like if you saw like a card of deck, that you will see like this type of card. And creating those kind of card is like super easy. All you need to do, go to the components and then click on the card. And you'll see like there is like a lot of different variation. You can just use it. So if you want to use a one single card, then you can just copy it, put it there, and you need to set the image and you are good. So we'll use like one single card for now to just make sure that we know how it works, and then we'll do rest of the things. So here I put like the card I just copied. I save this guy, I go to my website, which is this guy. And right now I don't have any image. So let's put like an image here, because in the image, we'll put like, you see like 3 dots in the image SRC. We'll select images and maybe we'll put the cards and then maybe put the card 3. Save it, come to the website. You see a simple card here. And if you need more card, you can add those. But what we will do, we will keep scrolling and find something even better, like those guys were doing in the Spotify. So we'll go keep scrolling. There are so many of those. I recommend you to spend some time to go through all these cards and copy those and see how they look and change some of the text and see how does it fit. The more you try with it, the more you would be comfortable, and then you would be a more easier for you to build your own website. And you see like if you want like images on the side, you can do that. If you want to like a different color, all you need to do actually add a simple class like a BZ primary, which is just background primary. You will be using just CSS classes. But anyway, this is the outlined card. We are more interested into like a card, something like this. This is called card group. And there are multiple ways you can use the card group. This card group doesn't have any space in between. So if you need something like this, definitely you can use it. Here, I would like to use something like this, where your card group has some spacing. By default, they put like a 4 here, but I will need 3, so I will take 1 out. So here, I copy this guy, come here, and then here I paste it, save this. By default, I don't have the image set up. So you see like a 4 card here, and I want to delete 1. So be careful when you're deleting, click on here and then see this is 1 column. This is another column. This is another column. So you can take any one and then make sure you are selecting the right amount. So this is the end. You see these 2 is highlighted. you click and you select up to these or up to these, and then you press backspace. So one would be gone. If you go to the website, you have like 3. Now you can set the images if you want. Here is like say images. Let's put the cards as well. So card 1, and the second one is like images, cards, card 2. And if I have another one here, all I have to do is to the images folder, cards, and card 3. Save this guy, come to the website, you have some 3 cards, like this is like a blue card, white card, red card. If you want any of those, just take it from here. So that's like super easy to create a card, and definitely would be adding some buttons if needed, some prices if needed, all this stuff in our actual website. The last thing or last 2 things I wanted to share is to the layout related stuff. So layout is like, so by default, if you look in the website, you don't have like a much spacing in its very corners. So you can create a container to give some spaces, and that is just as simple as like a container. Or if you want to like a fluid container, you can create a container fluid, and you can do a lot of things based on the size of the browsers. So what we'll do, look into the website we have right now, is something like this, and it doesn't have enough spaces. So all we do is to come to the body tag and then tell it class container. That's it. We come to the website. Now you see some spacing on the left side and the right side, and it gives some padding. And so that's one thing. And another important thing is to know about the different devices. And so here, different devices is like, if you think about how we use a website, there is like 4 different ways, or you can think of 5. One is like a mobile phone, that you use a smartphone to visit the websites. This very extra small devices. You have like a medium devices like a tablet, right? An iPad, or if any other tablet exists, you use those tablet. Samsung tablet, something like that. You have like a smaller laptops, which considered as like a medium devices, and their range of width is like 720 pixel to 960. And you have like a large laptops. You have like a TV. That means like you have like a large, extra large, and you have like a 65-inch television, something like that. That means you can design website how it would look based on the size of the device. That's the fancy part of it. And also, just give me a second. Also, to control the space, right? In some cases, if you go to Mr. Jeff Bezos' favorite place, Amazon.com, you'll see that this is the overall width. They put a lot of cards here. Like these are just nothing but card. You already know how to build those. Like if you go to here, you already know these are the card. They just put images, some text, something like that. So these are the cards, and sometimes they put like 4 cards. These are the 4 cards. This is like one single card. And this is like another one single card. That's just one horizontal full width card. And this is like 4 card. This is one single card. This is one single. This is kind of like sponsored. And sometimes they have like, here is like, they have like a much more images. And sometimes they have like only one. This is like a big, this is a smaller one. And that means they can control the overall width. It could be like 100%, it could be 50%, 25%, something like this. You can manage it like this way. That's one way of like handling it. And another way of handling is like, say if you have like a paragraph or a text or something, you can define it as like a row, and then you can divide it in multiple columns. So let's get to that part of it, and that is called like a grid. And this is very, very popular. You can divide, say like I have a row. That means like this is my horizontal row, and I divide each division into a column. So by default, say for example, here where we put like underneath the carousel before the card, we'll do this. So we create like a div with class row. You can definitely do the div and then go to the class and then type row. That's super easy. Or you can do just dot row. In that case, it will create a div with class row. So this is just a small shortcut that I use, like dot row, and then this will be div row. If I want to create a paragraph with only div, you don't need to define this is a div. But if it is a paragraph H1, you need to put the tag dot and then the class. That means say like a BZ primary, something like this, and then press tab. It will create a paragraph with class primary. But anyway, we'll be using it. So what we are doing is like we are creating a row, that means row, and inside the row we are creating a 2 column or 3 columns. So first we create a column, and here we have a paragraph, and inside the paragraph we write a big text. For example, we write a lorem maybe like a 50. So if we do this, save it, and go to our website, here we see like it's just one extra paragraph goes the whole way, like whole available space. What will happen if we create another column? So they will share the available space. So we will just copy this guy just for simplicity. We highlight this one, Alt-Shift down arrow. That means we have like a 2 column right now. You see, already come here, the text got divided into 2 parts. We can create another one. So Alt-Shift down arrow, save this guy, and now we have like 3, and it takes the available space. We can create another one, Alt-Shift 1, save it. It takes like just they just happily shares among themselves that these are the available space. But sometimes, like Mr. Jeff Bezos did some tricky thing. What he did, he took like a more spaces for one column and less for another person. You can easily do it as well. So for example, here we have like we remove 2. So right now by default we have 2, and first hub and second hub. So what BootStrap says is like you can actually make some combination of these 2 columns or available row. You can divide it into 12 different parts, and give any number, any whole number to anybody. And to do so, what all you need to do is to tell like, hey, the first one, I want to make it like a column, if I make it column 6, that means like there is total 12. The first one will get half of it, 6. Second one get will half of it. They would be the even. But what if you do the first one is like a 7, and second one is like a 5? Now the first one slightly take more space than second one. You can make the first one as a like a 9 column, and the second one as a like a 3. In that case, this will take like a that much space, and this one get like a smaller space. What if your sum doesn't goes total to 12? That means you make it a 4. In that case, you have total 12 space. If the first one has 9, it will take 9. Second one has like 3, it will stay. If it is 4, it doesn't have enough space because there will be total 12. It will go to the next line. Save one, it go to the next line. So you got the pretty much some ideas, and we will work much on this. But now our goal is to start over to create our special realistic website. So what I will do, I press Control A, get rid of everything that we have done. It's really a sad day. It's kind of like a breakup, but our website has nothing. It's pretty much empty. And we start over. We press this exclamatory sign tab. That means we have a simple structure, and then we change the title to hot gadget. That means we are selling some hot gadget. And here you can do some segments. Say in a website, we will have like a 3 parts in the main part. The first one would be the header tag, and the second one would be the main content of the website. And then maybe we will have a footer. And we would be kind of like we're talking about BootStrap today, right? So that's why we would be using BootStrap. And to use the BootStrap is super easy. We'll go there. We can either go to this Get Started, or we can go to the bootstrap.com and click on the Get Started. Either one will work, but we go to the introductions. All we need to do is to copy this dude and then put it inside this title, inside the head tag, anywhere in the head tag. So we put this. And we will need another guy because this guy cannot be lonely. He or she needs some friends. So we'll put is like the JavaScript tag as the last tag of the body. So we put this one as well. So this is the script tag, which is the last tag of the body. So inside the body is the last tag. If you do this right now, you have Bootstrap included in your application. And what we want to do, we start with a very simple thing. And every website, I will see there is a navigation bar, like something like this, right? And then this is very common, everybody uses it. And to create it, you can definitely code yourself, or you can go to the components and you will scroll, and you'll see something called nav bar. And this is actually called a nav bar. And if you scroll it, you see like if you want something like this already written for you, all you need to do is click on this, do it, copy and use it. And if you don't want exactly this one, you can search for a lot of varieties. So this one has a different variety, would be using it. If you scroll, you will see like other variety. For example, it would be like a dark color, primary color, and it would be like a fixed at top, sticky, fixed at bottom, and so many different variation. But anyway, we come back to the header and we paste it. We save this guy, we go to our website, and our website, we save it. Let's reload this guy, and then you see you have this navigation bar. If you want to make it a container, you can easily do here, class container, save it, come here, it goes a little bit on the side. And instead of navbar, you can do, since you have a logo, you can use the logo here. We can press enter, and then image, I have inside my images folder, I have something called logo. I save this guy, I come to the website, I have hot gadgets, that is the logo is there. We will change this part a little later, but at least you got the idea that you can easily create this navigation bar. And the second thing, in the header part, pretty much every website has a slider, like we saw one with the car. So we can easily build something like that here as well. All we have to do is to go to this Bootstrap, and previously we used something called Carousel. So Carousel, and you can take either one that you feel comfortable or you feel interesting. You can take this one, you can take one at the bottom, doesn't matter, or with some caption if you want to put. We want to go a little bit fancier with it. So we'll go with maybe this one. We copy this guy and we come back here, and in our underneath our navigation, we paste this guy. And by default, they don't have the images. So if you go to our website, this would be broken image. That means like no image is there. And all we have to do is to first put an image, say like images, and then slash, we have a folder called banner products. These are the banner products that we have, and then we save it. We come to the website, we have something like this, which is like a fancy MacBook Pro. We see some this way, but we want to make it a little bit better, not like a previous, we just only have the car, but now we want to add some text and do some fancy thing. So if we want to do some fancy thing, we can actually do it. So we can say like, okay, I know how to create a row. This should not take the whole space. I have total 12, so I want to take like 5 in one side and then 7 in another side. I can do that. So here I can create a row. That means dot row is the div row. And here I want to create a column 7, which is the first text, 7 column. We'll put some text here. And then second one is dot column 5, like we did before, and then put the image inside it. We save this guy, we go to the website. Now image is not only smaller, but it also went to the other side. So it's very controlled. And we can write some text here. And since we'll be writing like multiple text, so maybe position those, we can create another div, doesn't matter here, and then write some text here, like a MacBook Pro. Here, you'll see like MacBook Pro is written. And then you can do some paragraph here that some fancy stuff about it. You can say like a lorem, and we write some like a 10 words here. So just putting some dummy text, lorem 10, and it creates this, and we have some text. You can create some button, and you can tell about the price. So for example, you do like S3, and this like Apple would be like ripping off you, so something like this. And you can create a button class like btn maybe giving you a warning, don't buy it, but it still say buy now. Something like this, and it goes in on the, it's not at the perfect locations, but it's somewhere there. You can place it in the center by using the flex layout that we saw before. So if you go to here and then you go to utilities, and we know something called flex, and we need to use like a deflex. And then if you want like horizontal center, these are not centering. This one is the centering. So you see the first one is the left, second one is the right, third one. So that means like deflex, justify, center. That's all you need to use. I copy this guy, I come here, and this is the whole div I want to place. So after column 7, I want to put this D7. Come to my website and you will see that it's coming a little bit horizontally. This is the border, this is the whole text, and you can control this text to be smaller if you want. If you want to, like, say for example, class W50, that means you take half of the width available space. So this is half of the space. Now you can make this a vertical center as well. So if you come here, right now, if you go here, this one is the vertical center. You see, this is the vertical top, vertical bottom, vertical center. So this is like deflex, we already put it, and the remaining part is align item center. You copy this guy, you come here, and next to the deflex, you put this align item center. Anywhere you put, and now you come to your website. Now this text is in the center of it. So you are able to put like some kind of like a image, and then you also able to put some text. So since you are able to do it for one, you can definitely able to do for others. All you need to do, this is your carousel item, right? And inside this carousel item, you have all these things. This is your carousel item, and this is the end of the carousel item. These are the div in between. So I copy this whole thing, including the row. So that means this is the whole row I'm copying. And here inside the carousel item, instead of the image, I put the text. And then previously was the product one. Now I want to show the product two. Save this guy, go to the website, and then you will see this image should be Swift itself. And this is not Amazon Pro. This is not MacBook Pro. This is Amazon Echo. So you can change the text here if you want to, Amazon Echo. And then you change the price. Echo is not that much pricey. You can put this, and if you want to buy now and those kind of thing. Same thing, you can do the third one. This is the third one. You paste it, and then you use image 3. This is just the image that you have. And if you go there, and if you quickly go there, you want to click on this, and we put in the wrong place. Most likely, let's see whether we pressed in the wrong place. So this is our, we placed in the previous one, we placed in the wrong place. So you need to put inside the carousel item. So we actually placed it here. So we should not do that. Rather, we need to put inside the carousel item. So don't worry, we get rid of this guy, we paste it here, we save it. Now we go to the website and quickly change. This is our Amazon Echo. And the third one is our, we need to change the image. This is the third one. So third one, we make the image 3, save it. And then the third one is our, this music device, boom, boom, boom box. So we change like a boom, boom, boom box. Something like this. And boombox is like actually expensive if you wanted to buy and don't want to use the headphone, you need to pay some money. So that's pretty easy. Like you are able to create like a nice slider with few lines of code and some fancy text if you want to, and you are able to do it. But that's not all for your website. Your website needs to selling more gadgets. So, and for that purpose, we will adding some cards. And you already know that we have talked about it, that inside the components, you have the card. And previously we were scrolling, we weren't smart enough. Now on the right side, you will see a quick navigation on the right side as well. So if you have some time and you are bored, you can scroll all day like this to kill some time, right? But if you want to make it quick, you can here and you can say like a card groups, create card, and you will get into these locations. And then if you scroll just a little, you will get what you need, like all these 4 cards. Here, I copy this guy. And then here inside the main content, we are done with the header. We have the navigation bar. If you go to this, we have the top navigation bar and you have the header slider. So now we go to the main content and we create a section. And this is the section for selling stuff. So this section we'll call like H1, we make it H1, and then we'll be selling some smartphones. Like, you know, you are a hot gadget shop, you need to sell some smartphones. And then I put this, just I copied whatever in the website and pasted here. That's it, pretty much. And here you will see that if you go to the website, let's look into this. You have like a smartphone. There's like 4 of those, so we get rid of 1. So this is your 1 column. They have like a lot of columns, but anyway, we get rid of 1. So we get rid of this dude. We get rid of this and we save this. And now you have like 3. And if you want to some spacing at the bottom, you can use definitely inside the section. You can add a class. And then MY, that means like vertical wise. MX is like horizontal, MY is vertical. And if you want to like a small, more or 3 rem type of spacing, just put like 5. In that case, you will have some spacing in the bottom. This is the card, this is the card, and this is the card. So, and we already have some images. So if you're selling some product, you better have some images of your product. So you can here, inside instead of like an image ... you go to the images folder, and then you have some fonts. So you see like there's a folder called fonts, and then put the first font. And if you save this guy, go to the website, you have like your kidney selling device. So you need to sell your kidney to buy something like this, and with 3 dots. They just put 3 dots and charge you like a $1,200, $1,500. So you can see like a name is like a kidney killer iPhone, something like this. And then this is very pricey. So you can do here like BTN, you're creating a button. So you can just like a BTN class. And then you want some people, but they don't listen to you, something like this. And you put like a buy now. So you save it, and then you have like buy now button in your card. Not only that, you can do here some pricing if you want. It's 3, then this is $1,200, something like this. And this is see like you have like card, you have some description, and you have an image. Same thing you can do, because if Apple does something, Apple has a kind of like a crash, or somebody has a crash on Apple, and they wanted to use the same thing Apple does as kind of like a copycatting things. So we see who is this copycat guy. This is like Samsung. So Samsung is kind of like pretty much is Apple throw their charger away, Samsung does throw charger away. If Apple's kind of like throw their girlfriends away, Samsung does the same thing. And we can do the similar stuff for the last one, the phones, and then phone 3. And this is like the poor guy's phone, which is like a Redmi. So this is like a Redmi Real. You can change the name if you want, Redmi Real or Unreal or Imaginary, whatever is the name. And if you want, you can add these 2 buttons in everywhere that you need some pricing, and then you need some buy now. So just copy this one and then put it just after the paragraph here. In the same way, just put it after the paragraph. Save this dude, come back to the website. Everybody has like a button and the text to do if you want to change those stuff. But it's not like that fancy yet. This have some border. I want to have some kind of like a shadow, something like this. So remember, to get rid of the border, we can easily do it. So if you do for the first card here, this is the first card we can do. For the first card, where you see like this is the card, you can say something like border 0. Border 0 means like I don't want any border. Save it, and this border is gone. You see like second one has a border, third one has a border, but first one doesn't have a border. And then you can do some fun stuff. Like if you go to the utility, there is something called shadows. Shadows means like you can add a shadow like this. You see like this is large shadow, this is regular shadow, and this is like no shadow. So what we can do here, besides the border 0, we can call like shadow. And if you add this shadow, go to our website, you see a smaller shadow. If you like a lot of shadow, you can see like a -LZ, that I need like much more shadow. So that's it. Like it's kind of like a popping up in a nice way. You can easily do. All you need to do, add these two classes. So since we added it here, we can add it here as well. Just paste it this guy here and paste it this guy here. Save this, and then you have like a 3 fancy card about smartphones, something like this. And for your gadget shop, you are selling the iPhone, selling the Samsung, but you want to sell more, right? And the cool part is that if you do some like partial or smaller, you see this gets like only 1. And if you like make it bigger, it has 3. So if you are looking into smaller devices, you'd be able to see things like in a nicer way. So that's what is the fun part of the responsive website. And we want to make it a little better. So let's do another section of laptops and then make it much more responsive. So since we want to create another section, we just select the whole section. Make sure that you're selecting all these sections and Alt-Shift-Down arrow. Alt-Shift-Down arrow will copy the whole thing for you. And this would be your laptops, because you're selling gadgets. That means you will need laptops. Save this dude, come here. Right now you have like a section for a smartphone, and then you have a section for laptops, but it doesn't shows the laptop here. Don't worry, we will be changing the images. So these are the laptops. Though every phone is a powerful device, actually you pay more for a phone than you're buying like a, by spending the price of an iPhone, you can buy actually 3 fully functional, really good computers like laptops. So, but anyway, so you go to the laptops and then you change the image that, okay, I don't need the phones here, I need the laptops. So you have the laptops and the /laptop1. And if you go there and you see, you have a like a the laptop. So it's kind of like call is like, if you know the word Upsos, there's like a Upsos for Asus. So if you have some kind of a rig date of buying up Asus, then you can think of this one. Let's think about the second one. What is this one? This is the laptop, and then laptop 2. Save this guy, come back, and this is maybe Lenovo. So Lenovo is very flexible, and that's kind of like a yoga is very friendly for us. So yoga featuring Lenovo or something like this, featuring, and then you have something like this, and use the third one, which is that we use the third laptops, so laptops, and then number 3. And then if we look into this guy, we will see this is kind of most likely Dell. That means like always dying Dell, because that never works. So make like a die Dell, something like this. But you got the idea that you can change the price. You have like a multiple products in this case. And most part of it is like a responsive, not a whole part of it yet, but we'd be doing those work right now. So here, this part is responsive. It can easily go, but this part isn't responsive completely. If you were trying to make it even smaller, it stays the same way. What you can tell, like here, so you have like a whole row, and you can see, say this guy, what is in the carousel. If you go to the all the way up to the carousel, you will see that this is column 7. That means it's generically always 7 column. It's not responsive yet. To make it responsive, you have to tell, hey, this one, say if it is a smaller devices, take like 12 spaces. And other cases, like regular one, you take like a 7 one. So you can tell like column for SM stands for small devices, you will go to the 7. And if it is, or a smaller one, you will get the whole width 12, the text. And then for other devices, for larger or medium, column medium, you will go to medium or higher, you will go to like 7 space. So let's do this one and then go to the website, and you see now they are they are on top of each other. Like you see, not next to each other. So, and if you have like a very smaller devices, you can able to see it like this way. So if you want to make this in a full screen, side by side, smaller screen, one top of another one, you can easily do it. And we want to do like a 2 more interesting stuff before getting done of it. So if you notice here, say for example, if I move the website here, this website doesn't have an icon. They have an icon, Amazon have an icon, Spotify has an icon, but Hot Gadget doesn't have an icon here. So that icon is called like a fab icon. You can easily add that. Yeah, and usually you will always add it inside the head. And here you can call like a link to fab icon. So if you just type link and then go to the fab icon, it will create an icon and you need an icon file. So this would be images slash icon. And if you do this, save it, come here, now you have an icon in the header. Your robot dude is standing here as well. So now you can fight with Amazon. Hey, Amazon, if you sell like 200 gadgets, I will sell 200 gadgets as well. You can be like a head-to-head with Jeff Bezos. So you got this one. And the last thing we want to do is to, like, if you click on this guy, you want to go to the right section. Right now, this doesn't do anything for you. It just stays there. So doing this is very, very simple. So say right now it's like a featuring or pricing. We don't have exactly the same thing, but we can easily fix it. So here you will see if you have, this is the features, right? You want to put like I say smartphone. This is a smartphones. This one is maybe your laptops, right? So you have the name. So this is a little better, but if you click on it, it has to go that position. So how you can go to that position? All you need to do is to go to the smartphone code, wherever you have the section, is this section, and create an ID equals to maybe just phones. You create one ID. So now you come back to here, wherever you wrote smartphone, and href hash, just type the same thing you have written after the hash. So ID was phones, here hash phones, same name, same ID here. Save this guy. Now come to the website. If you click on this, it will take you to the smartphone. That means you are able to navigate to a specific location just pressing the ID. So you go there, it comes back. And this is the way you should be able to jump into the smartphones. And same thing you can do for laptops, right? Once you are able to do it for one thing, the next thing is just repeat the same stuff. So this is my laptops. I can create an ID here and then laptops. And then if I go to the all the way up, and then here I have the laptops, all I need to do is put to like laptops. Save this guy, and then you'll see this is by default here. This is the home. And if I go to the laptops, I go to the laptops. If I need to go to jump into the smartphone, I can the smartphone. I don't have anything like maybe I can add like a footer here. We have a footer section, so we can easily do that. Here is the footer, so we can have like some paragraph, maybe some small text, and that would be like a copyright. You want to the copyright, maybe hot at gadget.com. Something like this. And if you do this, if you go to the website, this would be your footer or something like this. Usually this is like a center aligned, so you can easily center align it. Just you can add the class text center. This is a BootStrap class. You put it, and now it goes to like your center position. So you got the overall idea that how to do it. And eventually all we need to do, you need to create a live site out of it. And the live site is like super easy. We did the same way using last time using the GitHub. So I'm going to the GitHub, and then I am creating a repository. You can click on this new, or you can go to like click on this plus, and then you can create new repository either way. And I will create one is like an hot and then gadget, something like this. And then I create this guy. So this will be creating, and this is not the best way of using GitHub, but since we are still learning, we'd be clicking on this uploading an existing file, and we go to our folder hot gadgets, and whatever we have, all we need to drag all this stuff. So we select these two, which has a lot of images, we put here, and they would be uploaded in like a few seconds. And once they are uploaded, all we need to do is to commit this. So to let it done is done. So we commit this one. And to make a website out of it, all we need to do is to, once the upload is done, go to the settings, and then use something called Github Pages. So give it a few seconds to upload all these images, the fancy cars, laptops, gadgets that we have with some of the cards that we uploaded. So give it a few seconds, it's done. And we go to the settings, And then we scroll, and then GitHub Pages, and then you select that I am using the main branch, because by default this is the main branch, and then you need to the save. Once you save it, as usual, it will give you a link which might not work right away. So I click with the wheel and the new one, site not found, and then sometimes I just write the index.html. Give it like a few minutes, that usually works. But if I'm impatient, I try to do something like this. Click on the inspect, like I did, like click on the inspect, click the mouse and the hold it, give my empty cache reload, and then try to reload it multiple times. Sometimes after doing it 3-4 times, it shows up, and if it doesn't show us, I try like after a few minutes. So we'll come back to this one and see like whether this is index.html, whether this is done after doing a quick review, or it's already done. So which is good. So you see, this is not your local machine, right? This was your local machine where you have like C project, something like this, but or this one was like your like a 127 is your local machine. Nobody was able to see it. Now this link, if you give it anybody in this world, even if you go to like incognito mode, then you should be able to see the website. So now we will do like a quick review of the things we have done so far today. It wasn't like a lot of hard things. It was like super easy for us, because all we had to do is to know how to use Bootstrap. And to use Bootstrap, we need just two things. The first thing, we need a link to their CSS file that we put in our header tag or head tag, and this is the link. And then second thing we needed is to the a script tag, which is the this tag. If we do this tag, then we can use tons of things that available on Bootstrap. And we definitely looked into like a primary color, background color, and a lot of other things. We use this navigation bar with just copy paste and then changing some of the text, because they don't know whether this would be a smartphone or this could be like a heart mechanic or some other website. So that's why we needed to change a little bit. And same thing we did with this kind of like this fancy carousel. All we had to do is to go there and then find the component and then the carousel, and then just copy. And there is so many other things that I didn't went through, like the modal, maybe the pagination, pop-up, maybe you can do the scroll spy, and a lot of other things. So we use the carousel, but at least it's kind of like giving us a fancy pro look in our website where things are sliding, but we didn't do much of the work. And the same thing we used for the card, and we use like a simple card to see how does it works. And then we use like kind of like a card group where we have like 4 cards, and that was the most important part of our website. And then we did the repeating the same thing. And other thing we have learned or we have explored inside the layout, that every layout needs some container, and you create a row, and row has like total 12 parts, imaginary, you don't see it. And then if you don't define, if you add like a 2, this would take even space. If you have like 3, they will take even space. They will distribute. They are nice, friendly, generous person, so everybody will take similar amount of space. But you can force and make somebody richer, like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, give like a 7, and rest of the guys would be like 3 or 4. And if you don't define, they will take the rest of the space. If you define and the total goes more than 12, it will fall underneath it. And other than that, we looked into some of the utilities, which was like we looked into the borders, that you can easily define the borders. Like no border is like border 0, border only top or right, and you want to create something circular, we deal with those images. We didn't use much about the color, which is very similar to like text primary, text success. That means you can color some of the text. We used a very little amount of like flex, but there are so much powerful things we can do without writing a single line of CSS actually. And we definitely use some of the sizing, very small amount, which is like your width 50. We use a little bit about spacing, not a lot, like the margin. You can do the same thing with padding, like you want like a horizontal axis, vertical axis, margin only top. If you want to only top, you would use like MT, M for the margin, T for the top, those kind of things. And definitely there's much more other stuff. And we went to the content a little bit to work with the images. That means we want a responsive images, and we use like outline, we make it some thumbnail. And if you want to do much more, you can do definitely with the tables. You can do a lot of crazy things with tables. Just declare tables, and you want like a hover effect, something like this, style some part of it, and it's like so much powerful things, and without writing anything. That's the cool part of it. And you can do like one page to another. You can do like a progress, that this is progressing some download, and you want to like some loading. You can do like a spinning, progressing stuff. You can do like a fancy style of tooltips. Like this is like so much powerful. If you hover over, you see like tooltip working there. So that's pretty much all I wanted to cover today in 1 hour and 10 minutes. But I highly recommend you to like explore, spend like at least multiple days, all the different things in the Bootstrap website, and play with it, and then build your own website that would be for your organization. And eventually we'd be adding all these to for our next things. Right now our button doesn't do anything, so this is kind of like a dead buttons. So if you click on any of this button, it doesn't do anything. We need some life in our website, and that life is called JavaScript. And we'll be adding JavaScript in our project. So that would be our exciting things in the next workshop, where we'll be like exploring JavaScript. And in the meantime, I recommend you spend some time to just getting started with JavaScript. What is JavaScript variable, and what is for loop, what is an array, what is conditionals, those kind of things. So there is like 5 things you need to know. That's your homework, is to like know about JavaScript, how to declare a variable. Second is how to run some condition, like if else in JavaScript. And we'll be covering some part of it quickly in the next sessions. And then what is an array, how you declare an array. And number 4 is like how you run a loop, especially the for loop. And then finally, how you write a function. These are the 5 things you need to explore, at least like 4 to 5 hours to know it. And that will make you much more comfortable about the next session. So that's all from now. And if you are falling into sleep, continue sleeping. Don't need to wake up because it's already almost made up the night for you. Continue sleeping. Otherwise, that's all from my side. I will get back to Pranit.